Hello everyone, and welcome you all to the chapter of the Flutter tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 7, where I'll be showing you guys by creating a main source code in Flutter. Okay, so in our last class we do have learned about how you will be able to create the main.dart file. Okay, like what all it contains. Okay, it contains the main page, it contains MyApp, then it also contains so many widgets and all the other things. So we are going to create that particular thing from the scratch, and we will learn about that in detail. So let's not waste much time and let's get started. So in our last class, we do have learned about the main. Okay, so over here we have learned about the main page, and also after that we have seen that you have to create a particular class under this main page. Okay, so inside this main function you do have the MyApp function, and inside that you do have your MaterialApp inside the widget. Okay, you do have the MaterialApp, and under this over here you basically have your activity page. Okay, so activity page is like a normal web application page, and inside a web application page you do have the scaffold. Okay, so a particular scaffold basically holds the app bar, the body, the navigation bar, or any widgets present inside the activity page is known as scaffold. Okay, so we're gonna learn how you will be able to do so. So for that, now let's come here, let's minimize this, and let's open up my Flutter file. Okay, or let's Android Studio. Okay, so let me just type Android Studio, and let's open it up. And over there, as we have already worked on that particular file, you guys will be able to see that in the recent file I will have my application. Okay, so now let's wait for a while because it might take some time for it to get started. Okay, so totally depends on the type of PC or the type of laptop you're using, how many tabs you're using. Okay, so automatically, as you guys can see, my main.dart file has been opened. Okay, so now let's come here and let's select the whole thing. Okay, and from here I will just delete the whole thing from here itself. Okay, so the first thing what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create the main file or the main function. Okay, so I will just type main. Let's open and close parenthesis, and after that I am going to open up the curly braces. Okay, so I'll just come here, I'll just open up my curly braces, and I will just give the command which is run app. Okay, so over here I will just put run app. Let's open parenthesis, and inside this run app I need to make sure that what I will put. Okay, what is the app I'm going to put, because over here if you take a look you guys can see that after the main function I do have my app. Okay, so I do need to make sure that I create a class, and over here I mention the application or my application which I will create. Okay, so over here now I will just count down. Let's click on enter. So now basically I want to create an application. Okay, because I need to make sure that I put that particular application right over here which will basically run. Okay, so for that I will just I have defined my particular application as class, and I can just name anything. So let me just name it as my application, and I will just combine this one with stateless widget. Okay, so stateless widget. Okay, so over here you guys can see stateless widget over here, and after writing the stateless widget, I am going to open up the curly brace. Okay, so over here, as you guys can see, now I do have opened up the curly braces right over here. As you guys can see, this is the stateless widget. Over here, I do have mentioned the name of the application as my application, and I do have also combined this particular thing with the stateless widget. Okay, so once you are done with this, now one particular thing which you need to do here is basically you need to override a particular function. Okay, so I'll just keep my cursor on top of the name of this particular application or this particular my app, and I'll just click on Alt and Enter. And once I have clicked on Alt and Enter, here it shows me that what are all I need to do. Okay, so first it's telling me to import package flutter.cupertino.dart. Okay, so over here now on top, if you guys just take a look. Okay, so let me just place it on the very top. Okay, so over here now I do have imported package .flutter. So this is very important thing that you need to do. And after that, again, I will just keep my cursor in this particular name of my application. So if I just click on Alt and Enter, there is an important thing which I need to do is that I need to create one missing override. Okay, so over here, I need to make sure that I create a particular override. So it will just override a particular widget. And if I just click over here, you guys can see it is basically overriding this thing. Let's click on Enter, or let's click on Enter over here, Enter over here as well. And here you guys can see add override. And here it is actually working on with this build widget. And inside this bracket, I do have the build context function. Okay, so over here, you guys can actually put this thing right over here. And now, as I do have created this particular application, I need to make sure that I put this one inside my run app application. Okay, so I will just type my application. Okay, so as you guys can see, I do have the my application. So I will just type my application, and I will just open and close parenthesis. Okay, so under here, under run app, you guys can see I do have my application. And also over here, what I need to do is I want to keep this particular application constant. Okay, so for that I will just type const, which is const, and I will just give it out a space right over here. And let me also close this down with semicolon. Okay, so over here I will just close this down with semicolon. Okay, and I can mention over here that this is the application. Okay, so over here, as I do have mentioned that I want to keep this my app or my application as constant. Over here also, once I am creating my application file, over here I also need to add a key component. Okay, so if I just click on Alt plus Enter, here you guys need to add a key to the constructor. Okay, so to keep it constant, I need to actually add a key to this particular constructor. So if I just click on key to constructor, this is how it will look. Okay, so I will just give it out a space right over here. And now if you guys just take a look, okay, you guys will be able to see that two parts of the main source code flow is basically done. So the first thing is that I have created the main function manually, and also I do have created my application or my app function manually as well. Okay, so over here this is the main function. Okay, and under the main function I do have my application inside class, which extends with the stateless widget. Okay, and I have also mentioned this one that this will be constant. I have also applied that where you have to apply a override on the widget and on which particular widget as well. And now the next thing what I need to do is I need to create a material app under my application. So over here inside this particular widget, okay, so or inside this particular my application over here or inside this build widget, now I need to make sure that I also create another one. Okay, so I need to make sure that I return the material app over here. So for that I'll just click on backspace, and over here I am going to type return, and also I want to keep this one as constant, so let me just keep this one as const, and after that I am going to type material app. Okay, so I'll just type material app, and once you have typed let's go with material app, and once you have written material app as well, now the next thing is let's open parenthesis, and inside this material app I want to have different kind of pages. Okay, so let me just name the first page as home. Let me use the colon, and after the colon I want to name my first page as home activity, and after that, after I have mentioned that inside this build widget I want to return the constant of material app, and inside material app I will have this particular page. Okay, so I'll just type home activity, and now let's open and close parenthesis over here. And now once you have done this, now the next thing is that you have to create another class. Okay, or you have to create another widget over here. So if you do want to create another page, now let's come here, and from here first thing first I need to mention a class. So let me just type a class home activity, and after that extend, and I'll just give it some space, and let's type state stateless widget. Okay, so I'll just type stateless widget, and again what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open up the curly brace. Okay, so once I do have opened up the curly braces, and again the same way wherever you are creating a class or a widget, make sure that always to run an override code. Okay, so let's click on Alt and enter. Okay, so if you do come here, go back, class home activity. Okay, so over here also. So now once I have created this particular class, let me just import the material app option for Flutter app plus enter, and let's just import this particular function as well. Okay, so here you guys can see the material.dart package for Flutter is being installed as well. Okay, so now let's come here into the class home activity, and the same way I will just come here. Let's type extend. Let's give it our space, or let's just come totally here. If you do want to delete it, you guys can just delete this whole thing as well. Okay, so constant MyApp super.key. The override is done here as well. Okay, so here you guys can see the closing. Okay, so over here it's closing this one, over here it's closing that one. Let's click on enter, and now let's type class, or let's go with let's click on enter, and I will just type class right over here. Let's go with class, and after that I will just type home activity. Now I'll just give this particular thing space. Okay, home activity extend stateless widget. Okay, so stateless widget, and after that now I am going to open my curly braces. Okay, so let's come here, and from here now let's open up the curly braces. Let's click on enter, and let's come down, and the same way what I'm going to do is I am going to use this override function. Okay, so you guys can see over here I do have used same way home plus activity. Let's click on alt and enter. Okay, so now let's come here. So now once you are done creating this class, now over here you have to basically click on alt and enter, and again you need to create one missing override. Okay, so just click it right over here. Let's click on enter to go down again. Okay, so over here let's click on enter, and now again the same way what I need to do is I basically need to add a constant. Okay, so again home activity alt plus enter, and I need to add a key constructor. So I will just come here and click on to give me a key constructor. Okay, so till here I hope you guys do have basically understood. Okay, so first off we have created my main function, and inside the main function I do have my application. Okay, it contains the application, and inside the application it contains the material application. And for material application also you guys can see I do have imported the package of material.dart. Okay, and under over here you guys can see I have named the home page as home activity. Okay, so now as this is done over here as well. Okay, so now if you just take out a look, okay, so if you just come here, let's take out a look. We have the main app, we have the my application. Over here I do have the material app. Now we do have the home activity, and after home activity you guys can see after each activity page we also have a scaffold. Okay, so if I just show you guys an example here, basically this is web page. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is the web application page or activity page over here, and all the items over here inside which we have are called as widgets. Okay, so over here we need to understand that Scaffold basically holds all the widget whatever you put inside your web application page. Okay, so for that, now that I read Scaffold, so let me just close this thing down as well. And what I'm gonna do is, once I do have mentioned, okay, so once I have mentioned it right over here after this widget, okay, so I will just come here and let me just delete this. So let's click on backspace. Now let's click on tab, and I will just click on tab again, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to type return scaffold. Okay, so over here, as you guys can see, return scaffold, and now I will just click on enter. I'll just click on enter over here, and I will just click on enter over here, back again. So if I come here, let's put out the semicolon over here, and inside the scaffold, if you guys take a look, right now I don't have anything. So let's run this one. Let's put on Chrome Wave, and from here I want to run the main.dart. Okay, so over here you guys can see that error getters, setters, and methods can't be declared to be cons. Okay, so over here you guys can see this particular thing is basically showing me this analysis issue. Okay, so my app couldn't find constructor. Okay, so over here basically I did add the constructor. Let's go with my app, and if you do want to add this thing right over here, which is stateless widget. Okay, so stateless widget over here. If you do wanna convert it to stateful widget, you guys can also do that right over here. So basically over here I do have changed the name. Okay, so now let's try to run this one inside my Chrome. Okay, so you guys will be able to see that as my scaffold is empty, it will basically create me an empty web page. Okay, so it might take some time for it to get started, and the same thing you guys can just run it inside emulator as well. Okay, but I am not using any emulator, because what it will do is it will just put a lot of pressure on my PC. Okay, so here you guys can see now over here it shows me that once I've returned scaffold, I don't have anything inside this particular page. Okay, so I will see in Chrome that how my mobile application will look like, and after that let's click on enter, and I'm going to add some things to my scaffold, and now I'm going to show you guys after that. So over here now let's try to add an AppBar. Okay, so over here I am going to basically add an AppBar, and let's name this one as AppBar over here, and I can just keep this one as simple. And now if you just come right over here, okay, so restarted application. Okay, so if you just come here, okay, if you just refresh, let's just open this one, and over here you guys can see that I will also have an AppBar. Okay, again, if I just click on enter, and if you do want to have a body, okay, so let's say I want to also have a body inside my scaffold. Okay, and here inside my body I want to also have a text. Okay, so I will just type text, and now I will just open parenthesis. Let's open the double quote, and I want to type hello everyone. Okay, so let's type hello everyone. Let's put out exclamation mark as well. Okay, so Control S to save it. And now if I just refresh this, here you guys can see it's written hello everyone right over here. Okay, so you guys can see now I do have this hello everyone option. So inside this scaffold, you guys will be able to basically put a lot of things. Okay, so for example, now I do have just a simple app bar. But now inside the app bar, if I do want to put out any title, let's say I want to put out a title, and also for title, my title will basically be in text. Okay, so again, I will just come here. I will just take out the text data, and from here, I will just open the double quote. And now after opening out the double quote, I will just type this is my application. Okay, so I'm going to put this one right over here. Control S to save it. And if you just come right over here on top, you guys can see here in the app bar, this is written as this is my application. Okay, so inside this scaffold, you guys can have your app bar, the body, the navigation bar, okay, the upper navigation bar, the lower navigation bar. Okay, so you guys can basically have all of these things right over here. Okay, so in our next class, we are also going to learn that how you are going to add a lot of things inside the scaffold, and we are going to learn in detail about other part or how to add a lot of components inside your scaffold. Okay, so here I hope you guys to have understood this particular class. So we tried to show you guys that how you'll be able to create your main source code file. So first I have showed you guys about creating the main function. Then inside the main function, I have showed you guys how you can create your own application, and inside your application under the widget, how you can run your material app. And also after that, we have learned that how you guys will be able to actually run an activity page, and inside the activity page, how you can actually add your scaffold, which contains your app bar, the body, the navigation bar. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter, where we're gonna learn more about Flutter and its usage. So till then, take care and goodbye everyone.